You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hello everyone, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you with another Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir. Yes, I know it's a bit out of order, but I really wanted to jump back into this. I really want to know what's going on in this game, so I think I'm going to be doing this one a little bit, playthroughs of this one, and, you know, in more common intervals, as opposed to going through everything in order. I might decide to do this, like, twice a week or something like that. But anyway, guys, I'm sure you guys are not going to complain. Alright, let's jump back into it and see just what in the actual hell is going on here. Oh man, that freaking news. Alright guys, let's do it. Alright. Except there's something wrong with him. His entire body is rotting and decomposing. Most of his fur is missing, the skin underneath is a light blue color. He's still got that massive grin on his face, but he's lacking that sincere look in his eyes. In fact, his eyes look completely dead. The smile doesn't reach them. I can't dwell on that as a sound more awful than anything else occurs. It's that familiar snapping sound. And just like that, there's nothing under me any longer. The last remaining platforms drop down. There's not a moment to think, and I grab onto the otter's tail tightly. When I fall enough, I feel my arms being pulled so tightly I'm scared they might come out of their sockets. A sickening snapping sound cracks above my head. Looking up, I can see Oscar's neck forced in a natural angle. His eyes are still fixated on me, though. They're completely dull with no emotions. That smile never leaving his face, making him look like some kind of demented psychopath. That wasn't enough, though. His entire body starts rapidly rotting. Before I can even make a sound, his entire fur and skin are gone. Even less time passes before it's just bone. His hollow, empty eye sockets are staring deep into me, and in that final moment, I know this is truly hell. The bones in all his clothing disintegrate into dust, and I'm falling. Unable to make any sounds. Shock has completely crippled my body. Before long, I'm completely surrounded by the darkness, falling eternally into the empty void. I'm sorry. I made it in time, but it still wasn't enough. My body jolts and my muscles tighten as I spring up, barely managing to stop myself from shouting out in panic. Light bursts in front of me and I feel myself falling forward, the sudden movement causing me to lose my balance. As the falling sensation returns, numbness overwhelms my senses, a complacent acceptance of death. That is, until the falling sensation stops and I'm caught by something or someone. Instinct takes control and I thrash against whatever's got a hold of me before a voice makes me stop. Hey, calm down. It's just me, man. That familiar, smooth and comforting voice brings me back to reality. My surroundings begin to come into focus. I'm in the classroom where we are having our next media class, and Oscar's holding on to me, his focus entirely on me. He's wearing a concerned look, and he's got one of his strong arms wrapped around my waist, holding me up without any effort. It's now that I realize the position I'm in. I've completely slid off my chair in my panic, and he's caught me before I hit the ground. The surrealness of the situation fades away, and I notice just how heavily I'm breathing. God, it's like I'm hyperventilating. Hey, it's okay. It's just a bad dream. You're fine. Oscar's voice is soft and gentle, like he's talking to a child, and even though it's embarrassing, it's also very comforting. What ruins that comfort is the rest of the classroom. Lay is standing and looking like he's ready to come rushing to my side. Lucas and Lily look like they're both frozen in shock, staring at me. The rest of the class is staring at me as well. A sickly anxiousness fills my head. My stomach is overwhelmed by a nauseous sensation. Finally able to muster the strength to move, I put my feet down and swung my weight on them. They're shaking slightly, but seem stable enough. The thick arm around me is still holding me close, but loose enough for me to pull myself out of his grip. Standing up, I snatch my laptop bag and rush to the exit. The bouncing motion of running gives me a sense of dizziness, but I force myself to push my way through the door. The corridor outside the room is cold and fills me with dread. It's just a normal hallway, unlike the more rotting, decrepit one from my nightmare. But that doesn't stop the lingering panic in my chest from pushing me to pick up my pace, and I'm barely able to keep myself from running. The stairwell itself feels different now. It's just as cold as the corridor, but the air feels refreshing. A very light, gentle breeze brushes against my face, and the sensation of relief that surges through me is familiar. It's like when I left home, but a lot more frantic in movement and breathing. I barely managed a few steps before needing to lean against the handrail. My breath still coming out as heaving rasps that echo in the silent stairwell. Seconds go by in near silence, and I can feel myself calming down. My breathing begins to get slower and slower until it's a barely audible pant. It's at this moment that I realize just what's been going on. What an awful, fucked up dream. Did I really think that up? I didn't think I was that disturbed. But it was so vivid, so raw. I could feel I could feel the coldness of the key in my hand, and the sound of his snapping neck is still ringing in my head. The way he hung there, there was nothing left but cold resentment staring down at me. That empty, hollow stare, the rush of emotions, the total silence. Emotions overwhelm me. I need to sit down, but my legs won't move anymore. I didn't realize how tired I am, and not from lack of sleep. Not anymore. I think I'm just a bit fatigued from working myself up, or at least I hope so. Shuffling over towards the stairs, I sit down on the bathroom step and pull out my phone. My thumb hovers over the message tab, but the thought of what this message might be is terrifying. Pushing through the hesitation, I open up my text, bracing myself for whatever I find. But there's no word message there. Nothing from Marcus at all, just my latest text from Lily. Of course it wasn't real. Why would it be? Despite the relief flowing through me, there's a lingering ache still in my chest as my eyes linger on my saved messages folder. I'm not allowed to dwell on it, though, as the silence is shattered by the sound of someone jogging down the hall. Just a few moments later, a familiar face rounds the corner. It's Oscar, and his face is plastered with a smile once again, but it looks a lot more contained than usual, like he's putting it on for my sake. There you are! Was worried. Was gonna have to run up to catch you. I'm sorry, I probably freaked you out. What? Nah, you're fine. You had me worried for a second before I realized that you were just having a nightmare. Just having a nightmare. God, I made such a big scene over nothing. I buried my face into my hands, feeling my cheeks grow warmer with each second. A feeling of anxiety and surrealness sobers into humiliation. You doing okay? Oscar speaks in that soft tone he used when reassuring me in the classroom. It doesn't match his boisterous personality, but it's filled with that sincerity that's always surrounding him. But is it really that unlike him? Now that I think about it, Oscar has always been looking out for me, even when I was a complete stranger to him. I always thought of myself as an open-minded person, but I think I'm a lot more judgmental than I thought. Yeah, I'm okay. It was just a silly nightmare. I don't know why I freaked out so much. It just felt surreal. I guess the panic didn't leave after I woke up. Yeah, you look really shook up, man. Oh God, oh wow, what are you on? Jesus, I woke up just a half hour ago. Yeah, you really look shook up, man. So you need to take your mind off it. Yeah, maybe you're right. One second, guys, let me drink this coffee. Oh, hell yeah, that coffee's good. Yes, I'm back. Yeah, maybe you're right. Of course I'm right. And I want to get out of here? Oh, what? Taking my face out of my hands, I can see Oscar standing right in front of me. He's leaning over me, and it's a staunch reminder of just how tall Oscar is. He towers over me with that smile still covering his face like he always does. His eyes are shimmering with excitement, and he bends down further to get closer to my height. After squatting a bit as well, he manages to get to my eye level. His face is only a few inches away from my own, and it causes my face to flush for a different reason. A smell of chlorine fills my nose, but it's mixed in with an underlying otter musk. It's a thick smell that pushes through that distinct chemical scent. I don't have any classes for the rest of the day, so I'm free to cheer you up. Huh? You don't have to, really. I should just go home and sleep. You want to go home and sleep after that? The thought of potentially sinking back into that nightmare is a daunting prospect. That suffocating hallway of decay and the image of the gallows is something I want to relive anytime soon. Not really. Exactly. So you should let me blah. I don't know. Blah. Sorry, guys. I just woke up. Exactly. So you should let me make you feel better. Make me feel better? Yes, with his penis. No. No, not going there. Oh my god. Yeah, by cheering you up. You sure you're still not out of it? Wait, is he not flirting with me? That was flirting, right? Do I just have a dirty mind? No way. What he did in the library was too overt. There's just no way it's not flirting. He must be messing with me. Maybe I should just ask. Hey, Oscar? Yeah? Sorry. Yeah? His smile looks to be getting wider as if he knows exactly what I'm going to ask, his eyes flashing a glint of mischief that makes me wonder if I'm stepping into a trap. It's a trap! Are you... I'm interrupted by the sound of multiple footsteps coming down the hall, and I become more aware of just how close our faces were. Quickly pulling away, Oscar only gives a light chuckle and straightens himself up. She's always got that expression on her face. She's like, ada, 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 ada. Out of the corner comes Lily and the other two members of our group. I quickly get up off the step, not wanting them to be too worried about me. I don't think it'll be too successful, but I have to try. She has a look of shock on her face when she sees us at the stairs, and her sudden stop almost causes the other two to walk into her. Oh, I didn't think you guys would be here. Are you doing okay? You looked really upset earlier. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Oscar cheered me up. He looked like he needed it, you know? The otter suddenly wraps an arm around my shoulder, pulling me against him for only a moment as he rubs my shoulder. I'm glad you're doing better, but you probably shouldn't head home right away. You're probably still rather vulnerable, so no one should be alone after a panic attack. Yeah, I understand. You're probably right. Are we going back to class? No, I talked to the professor, and he said we could leave early. I just explained that we had already decided on a topic earlier, wanted to make sure you were okay. It's like the meeting yesterday wasn't just for fun. It was definitely fun. We gotta do it again sometime. Billy giggles at his childish enthusiasm, but Lucas and Leia are ignoring him, focusing on me instead, their neutral expressions hiding what they're thinking. The atmosphere of having everyone together is warming and relaxing. It really does feel like I'm surrounded by a group of friends. I do have more classes today, so I can't stay around, but I'm sure there's someone else who has finished all their classes for the day. Guys? I'm trying to remember the voice. Okay. I don't go to my other classes anyway. I was going to the library to study. It's quiet there if you know where to go. Ah, this is a branching path, I believe. I've just finished for the day, but I do have to go pick up my sister. She has soccer club on Wednesdays, and she'll be done soon. I don't like to leave her to walk home alone. You can come, though. I'm all cleared out for the day, too. I was just going to head over to the gym for a swim, though. Would love it if you came along, though, Wallace. Not often I get to show off my swimming abilities. It's what we otters were built for, you know? I feel like it isn't his swimming skills he wants to show off. I told you, I'll cheer you up, and trust me when I say that this is the best way to do it. His eyes have that beautiful shimmer to them again. It's hard to resist getting lost in them. He's really trying to look out for me, even if he's going about it in his own strange way. My offer from Monday still stands, too. Your offer? Yeah, to come swimming with me. Surely you remember that, so you gotta come with. Unless you don't want to. He walks closer and leans down a bit to whisper in my ear, my first standing up as he does. I wouldn't want to make you uncomfortable. He flashes me that same mischievous smile he had when he was showing off in the library before moving away again. Leia is glaring at Oscar, but the otter ignores him, looking incredibly proud of himself. Looks like you got a lot of options. I'm gonna head off to get some food before the next class. I'll text you later to make sure you're doing good, okay? Yeah, thanks. I'm sure I'll be fine, though. I bet you will too. Doesn't mean I don't get to be worried. And with that, she skips up the stairs. She seems to always have this positive aura about her. It's infectious. I already miss having her presence in the group. Yeah, every group needs a good Shino mommy. So Wallace, who are you going with? Sorry. Go to the gym with Oscar. I think I'll go with Oscar. Getting some exercise might do me some good. At least taking a shower there might clear my head. Hell yeah, trust me, you'll have a great time. Oscar shifts, and that's all the warning I get before his tail wraps around me, sweeping me against his side. My face softly smacks against his chest with a barely audible thud. I swim for the pool party. Any other takers? Lucas and Leigh both stare at the otter, a look of skepticism across both of their faces. Leigh's the first one to break his silence, shaking his head in disbelief. I gotta pick up my sister. Just make sure you take care of Wallace, alright? He seems to trust you a lot. Leigh begins to walk past us, but stops next to me. The concern in his eyes as he looks down is palpable. You sure you're doing okay? I'm feeling better, and Oscar seems like a fun time. Better to get my mind off things, right? He doesn't look too convinced, but he eventually nods. He looks reluctant, but I think he trusts my judgment. He turns away, giving one final remark as he walks toward the stairs. If you need me, just call. I'll be fine. Oscar isn't that bad. I can hear you two, you know? Oscar lays a hand on my shoulder and pulls me tighter against him. The playful hug is nearly smothering me. The offended tone in his voice isn't showing on his face at all, looking amused instead. Stopping at the first step, Leigh just looks back one final time. I think he's going to lecture us some more, but he just sighs and heads up the stairs, a hint of a smile on his lips. I feel a light tickling sensation on my cheek and turn my head to find Oscar leaning down to my height, his gaze lingering at where Leigh had been just standing. I'm not actually that bad, right? You tell me if I made you uncomfortable, right? He whispers under his breath, but I catch Lucas's ears flicking regardless. Subtlety isn't Oscar's forte, but I think that's part of why I find him so endearing. I'm reminded of my conversation with Oscar in class and how safe he made me feel at the moment. Yeah, I will. Lay's just worried. I don't think he dislikes you that much. Probably. Seems like the type to get worried too much. Probably hasn't gotten laid in ages. He gives a light chuckle and the mood's lightening again. Oscar really is good at doing that. Even Lucas looks more relaxed at the comment. It's like a superpower. The infectious mood is too strong to resist, and I find myself laughing alongside him at absolutely nothing. Lucas looks incredulous, but he stays quiet. It makes him bust out one of his signature grins before pulling me into a hug, lifting me directly off the ground. He does it so effortlessly that I can't tell if I'm light or if Oscar's just ripped enough that it doesn't matter. Probably a bit of both. That's what I like to hear. Okay, let's get ready for pool time. Like it didn't even happen, he puts me on the ground with surprising delicacy. As soon as he makes sure I'm secure, he whirls around to Lucas, making the poor guy jump. What about you? Want to make it a threesome? Lucas looks like he's about to fall over. Utter disbelief is smeared across both our faces. He sputters for a few seconds before finally forming an incoherent sentence. What? A threesome? I knew you were browsing, but I didn't think you were that bold. The cross looks like he's about to overheat, a darker shade of blush peeking through the dark fur on his cheeks and ears. The awkward discomfort he's radiating causes Oscar to lift up a hand to soothe him. Whoa, calm down there, buddy. I was kidding. It's a figure of speech. Oh, really? Sorry, I'm not really good with those. It's okay, man. Plus, I feel like if I was going to have a threesome with two virgins, I want Wallace here to be having a better day. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm a bit surprised. I always thought you were some guy who'd fuck anything that moved. I'm left gaping at the two of them. I know Lucas has a habit of saying stuff like this, but he's never been this sincere about it. But you're a lot better than I thought. I misjudged you. Sorry. It's so overwhelmingly formal, but I can tell from the way the fox is shuffling back and forth on his feet that he's nervous. It's endearing, and from the gentle smile on Oscar's face, I think he thinks so as well. Hey, don't sweat it, man. I don't mind. So you gonna join us? You look cute in swim trunks. Lucas's ears go red once again, but this time he looks to be trying to contain his reaction, putting his usual resting bitch face back on. Good lord, this coffee is incredible. I gotta study in the library. I need to make sure I'm up on my other classes. Plus, I wouldn't want to intrude. Looks like your attention is focused on Wallace, and I wouldn't want to overstep. Before either of us can respond to that, Lucas seems to be walking towards us and up the stairs. He doesn't give a chance for either of us to react until he stops and looks back. I'll check in on you later, Wallace. Okay? Sure. But I'm not able to reply before he vanishes up the stairs. What an enigma. Kind words and that snappish tone. I don't think he was upset, but more embarrassed. He definitely doesn't do well with compliments, but he didn't look as uncomfortable as before. I wonder if Oscar is growing on him, too. Damn, I guess that just leaves us. I expected that to sound flirty, but he sounds genuinely disappointed. He's staring up at the stairs with a longing expression, something I'm not used to seeing. Huh. That's interesting. Wonder if he also likes him. It's like he really did want to spend time as a group. It's not a sad sight. Oscar's energy rarely allows for that, but it's a bittersweet sight. There's always another day, right? We don't have to just hang out today. Yeah, always got tomorrow. Bouncing around on his paws, I'm almost lurched against him as his tail drags me along. His unending supply of energy is bursting out of every muscle in his body like a supercharged battery. Now it's time we head out. You okay to walk? Yeah, I think I'll be fine. You sure? I can carry you on my shoulders if you want. I bet you've never seen things from this height. He gives me a wink, and it's obvious he's joking, but I can't help but wonder what things look like from that height. I've always been shorter than my peers. It's refreshing to have Lucas and Lily around my height. I'm sure. People would really think I'm your kid or something. There's a moment of laughter between us, and the warmth that Oscar radiates returns. A supernova wouldn't be as bright as him. It's like the mood itself bends to suit him. So, let's go! Without a moment's hesitation, he grabs my wrist and pulls me towards the stairs. After I fumble up the first couple of steps, much to Oscar's amusement, we race the rest of the way towards the exit. We'll make it a threesome? We'll make it a threesome. You thought that would go down well? My tone's teasing, but the bewilderment in my voice is genuine. There's no way he thought that was going to end well. We're walking down the veranda alongside the campus courtyard. There's plenty of students filling between classes or just hanging around campus, but the veranda itself is relatively quiet. Well, yeah, I was clearly joking. Anyone would have caught that. I'm not so sure about that. Hey, you calling me a flirt? A glance at Oscar confirms to me that he isn't being serious, but the question still lingers and brings back many questions of my own. I didn't get the chance to ask Oscar if he's being serious or not. He doesn't seem like the type of guy to get upset at anything, so there's no harm in asking, right? Hey. Yeah? Something about the way I asked that must have come across as odd, because his usually carefree expression is a bit contained, and his movement isn't as eccentric and bouncy as it had been just moments ago. So, I've been wondering for a while now, but... Yes? Like a switch, Oscar leans toward me with a glint in his eyes, that caution melting away and leaving a look of mischief in his wake. The way he's looking down at me sends a shiver through my spine. He had the same look when I was going to ask the first time. Does he already know what I'm going to ask? Are you into me? Wait, I mean, is your flirting real? Not to say that you're being fake, but you're one of the most sincere... Before I could even finish my jumbled mess of a sentence, Oscar pushes me against the wall of one of the buildings. He's not rough, more guiding, and I feel my breath getting caught in my throat. He's pinning me against the wall of one of the university buildings. Daughter dwarfs me and forces me to look up as he leans over me, but I don't feel intimidated. What I do feel is immense anxiousness. Oh, I'm gonna save it right there. That's kind of perfect. What's going on here? Oh, God, I love this. I love this game. It's so much fun. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Look forward to another episode soon to see just where this little romance is going. Yeah, I'm going to be doing all 3 paths. Now that it's 100% clear to me that, like, there's 3 separate paths, I'm definitely going to be covering them, because each character is very different. I like that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to the next video. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!